Good morning, Joo-Lee.
Good morning, Mariana. Nice to see you.
Lovely to see you. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, I'm very excited that you're going to talk with me this morning because I've come across your work via your online programs, and I've also seen your ebook, and I'm very interested in relationships between partners. So that's why I thought I would ask you a few questions this morning. So before we dive straight in, can you just briefly tell me and tell people who are watching what you do in very simple layperson's terms? Imagine that somebody doesn't know your field of work. How would you describe yourself and your work?
Thank you, Joo-Lee, for giving me that opportunity. Very simply, what I do and what I have been doing for 30 years is really personal science. So what does that mean? That's all the stuff they don't teach us anywhere, how to be confident, how to stay calm and resourceful. So it's about accessing the internal resources we really have and how to change your mindset. And I'm not talking here about wishful thinking that if we think about something long enough, it will happen. It may, but I also deal with subconscious programming, which is really where our fears lie, which is why we're producing the results we produce, whether it's in our relationship, in our health, or in our business. It's a 3 pillars, really, isn't it, of human existence. So that's what I do. I do for a long, long, long time. To specialize in enabling people, giving them the tools so they can set themselves free and tap into their potential.
Mm-hmm. Who do you normally work with? Because this morning I'm going to ask you whether you've worked with swing dancers before, people who do partner dancing. So who do you normally work with?
Who do I normally work with? I work usually with entrepreneurs because, the money thing, I always make a joke and say we're incarnated in this life for 2 main reasons, sex and money, right?
That's really interesting.
So it's
our purpose in life.
So a lot of people want to do better in business. They want to, there's a lot about going to the next level. People say a lot about that at the moment, but it is really about being able to access more of your potential. So you serve in whatever you're doing. So in particular, it's the dance, or somebody else might be, running their own business, doing IT or doing anything at all, and it's really about being able to understand what holds us back. So I have entrepreneurs, and then I have people who are also entrepreneurs, CEOs, and executives, and they just want to relax. They need to know and they understand that their own source of calm and resourcefulness is helping their thinking, strategic thinking, business decision, huge, engagements. And so I also specialize in mindfulness, in a form of mindfulness that I call integrated practical awareness, because nobody wants to sit down and meditate for very long, at least not the people I deal with. They're very, very busy people. And so I've designed tools, and I'll share one today if you'd like that, to be able to take mindfulness on the road, if you will. So it's twofold. 1, to stay super calm. 2 is to be able to transform anything. And my clients are really, a lot of women entrepreneurs, I have to say, a lot of women entrepreneurs. And then on the corporate side, men and women who need to relax, who need to tap into their own resources,
You're working with very busy people, and I'm surrounded by lots of very busy people.
Right.
who might say, well, I haven't got time for all this relaxing thing. It's a luxury. It's a luxury to relax. How do you manage to persuade or convince or encourage your clients that doing something that relaxes us is beneficial? Because we just so used to being busy, and being busy has become so much part of our lives and makes us feel that it's important. It's almost important to be busy.
Sure, sure. But the thing is, you're not going to be any good if you're dead, right? Or if you're really sick. People, unfortunately, know. I mean, where is Steve Jobs now, right? Yeah. So it's like you could be the most amazing business person in the world, the richest, the most wealthy, the most abundant, and then be in a terrible state of health or mental stress. And most people suffer from that. Most people suffer from fear-based programming thinking. So worry, what if, I've worked with people, men who have lost all their money in the crash, the last crash, right? Their lifetime's investment, imagine that, right? Their lifetime saving for the family, all the houses they bought. And it's really, unfortunately, often it takes a massive crisis for people to realize, hey, hold on a minute, there's another dimension to life on the inside that I've never even looked at. That I've completely taken for granted. And usually life will teach us that you are more than anything you have or anything you don't have, and your emotions, even your physical body and your thoughts. So this is the dimension I tap into. I actually call what I do self-realization as well. That could be a really, if somebody hasn't heard about it before, it's to realize that there's a dimension to you where everything is always well, where your best money making ideas, your most relaxing, the right dancing step is going to flow from that space, because right there it's beyond fears, beyond expectation, beyond nervousness, beyond a lack of self-confidence. So it's about tapping into that step, that's space, sorry. And I would love to give a step right now, because I work with a lot of very impatient people and I love them. I love alpha man, alpha.
Impatient people. Well, I myself am quite impatient, and I find that because I teach adult beginners to dance, and I the panic that people feel when they come to learn to dance is what my sister calls impatience panic.
Yeah,
that's right, panic. That your panic about making mistakes.
Absolutely.
Your own impatience. I mean, last night somebody said to me, I'm really relaxed now. I've been a few times, but the first time when I came, I made one mistake, or I thought it was a mistake, and I just wanted to leave. All right. I made a mistake and I felt so bad. I want to leave. So where do you think that feeling comes from? Why do we want to leave as soon as we think we've made a mistake? Is the panic due to impatience, or is it due to a feeling unsafe in some way?
Well, no, I think the only thing that we have is fear-based thinking, and that comes up in lack of confidence, in afraid of trying something new, in what will people think of me? Am I lovable enough, and am I enough, full stop, right? So this is all fear-based, and it's none of that is conscious. It's all from something that happened at some point. And I don't do therapy at all, by the way. This is more like breakthrough, getting to that part of you where everything is always well. It's because we ended up believing that we need to do certain things in order to be recognized, in order to be free, in order to be more confident. Because they're subconscious, they're way down the back of our mind that we can't put our finger on it. All we know is right now we're so scared to make the wrong move that, what happens? We make the wrong move. So it's like, this is because
I'm always encouraging our beginners to keep moving.
Absolutely.
Even think, there's a mistake. The kind of dancing that we do is called the Lindy Hop in Charleston, but we do a social version of the dance. We don't do performance dances, but in social dancing, we are always adapting and improvising, and I'm trying to encourage everyone to be in the moment. But what can typically happen to beginners, or somebody who's more experienced than a beginner, is moments they think something's going to happen that's going to be wrong, they will stop. But actually it's easier to lead and follow each other if you keep the movement going. So I'm really curious as to why we suddenly stop just because we think we're about to make a mistake. And what can I do to help our dancers' mindset so that we don't have that constant fear of making mistakes and that constant stopping? Because I want them to keep moving.
Yeah, we see people get flooded with adrenaline actually. So this is actually gone into fight or flight mode now. This is why some people freeze. Some people, people have different reactions, right? But this is when there's so much fear that actually the body neurochemically has actually gone into flooding itself with adrenaline. So it's actually can't even make a move, you know. So it's really, and it's a very real thing, and most people live like that a lot of the day, every day, never mind the dancing, right? They also run their life like that. The thing to understand is this is a state that's supposed to last only 90 seconds. After
Oh,
that,
that's interesting.
yeah,
Really?
9-0. So this is, and they're probably afraid to move also because when you go into a state of fight or flight, the blood drains to your hands, your arms and legs, sorry, so you can run away from danger, right? So I can imagine they're nearly ready to dance, and then they're having that moment of panic. Oh God, what if I get it wrong? And then they feel flooded on the inside with, it's really the fight or flight. It's very real, it's fear.
Yes, it
The
is.
body, instead of staying, you know, like we have nice flow of blood throughout the whole body, usually in our gut feeling, very important. We feel well in our tummy and stuff. The minute we go into fight or flight, all the blood rushes to the extremities, which means there's very little left in the gut and very hard to keep centered and keep calm. So I guess this is what happens.
Yes, that's really helpful. Mm.
I'd love
That's
to do
really,
a step if you'd like a
yes,
step.
I'm ready. Yep, I'm ready to try the step.
And it's funny because you're in the UK and I live here in Ireland actually, but that step, your people are never going to forget it. It's called the BBC step, right?
I like that.
Not the world famous radio. The BBC, it's one of the steps that I have in the methods that I have for mindfulness, integrated mindfulness made easy every day. Just so that we don't go into copyright problems with the BBC radio. And it's body breath connection. BBC, body breath connection. So how do you do that? And you might do it straight away, Joo-Lee, so that you can definitely transmit the benefit, and we can check right now if you're finding it beneficial. But BBC is this, right? Now you're in front of me, and I hope I'm not stressful to talk to, but say you're in front of adversity, something that you find stressful. So can you bring up in your mind something that would push your buttons a little? Yes. Something you find annoying.
I'm in front of a computer. That's enough to annoy me. About that.
Okay. And what are your thoughts in front of the computer? Oh God, tech mightn't go well and stuff. Or yeah.
Yes. So this reminded me of my very first webinar on Monday when things crashed. So right. I'm having a similar reminder because I'm in front of the same program, same app. So yeah, so if you're asking me to imagine being stressed, that's quite easy right now.
Perfect. So now let's apply the BBC. The BBC is very, very simple. It's watch your own breath happening.
I held my breath. You
held your breath. So now it's being released immediately, right? As you watch it, it naturally takes its own course because this is organized by whatever created us. We don't even need to go there, but whatever created us has given us that breath, and it's just focusing. It's like, well, I'm actually breathing, right? So can you just note your breathing? And you don't have to breathe deeper or anything like that. However, you will notice that because you put your attention on it, all of a sudden your breath is a little slower and a little deeper, right?
You're absolutely right, because I've seen some early photographs of myself when I started learning to dance, and it wasn't a pretty picture, and this is what I saw.
Exactly. So
I don't know why I held my breath.
Well, because that's what we do, and we do the same in front of the computer, by the way. We literally cut away our source of oxygen, which puts us in more of what I was talking about, the fight or flight. But go ahead and watch the breath. We're still doing the BBC. And then are your feet on the ground?
Oh, I've crossed my legs.
Yeah, okay, so and cross your legs and make sure your feet are on the ground. And I'm just inviting you to take note of how your feet feel
Okay. Mm-hmm.
in your shoes. I presume you have shoes on, right?
No,
You
nobody
don't.
can see.
Okay. Okay,
So
no, that's perfect.
I'm grounded. How about that? Feet are on the carpet.
Fabulous. So feel the carpet, feel the sensation of the carpet. And if you're listening to this and you've got shoes on, just note how your feet feel in your slippers, in your shoes, or naked on the floor, on the floorboard, on the carpet, on the tiles. It doesn't matter. Are you in contact with the floor?
Yes.
Can you feel it?
Yes.
Yeah. And how's your breath going if you put your attention on the breath?
I'm still breathing
Yeah.
evenly.
Nice. So now if you wanted to take a little bit of a deeper breath, right, to, like, you know, that's okay. So what you're doing is you're taking the thought form of panic and negative anticipation, fear, and all of that into just, you're just observing the breathing, which is allowing you a break. And furthermore, when you notice your feet on the ground, you're becoming grounded actually. This is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to do anything extraordinary like breathing the floor up to your feet or anything. Your feet are on the floor. If you're watching this, and you're on the 22nd floor, you know what? There's still foundations to the building you're working right now, and you're still in contact with the floor. Okay? So this is your BBC, this very simple body, breath, connection. It allows you to reconnect with your body. And how do you feel right now looking at the computer, Joo-Lee?
I think I'm feeling okay. I think I want to try this in next week's class.
But
before we start
yeah,
dancing.
can I have a little fun with you? You can't think you feel anything. You either feel or you don't. You see, if you say I think I feel, you have to think for feeling. So how do you feel in your body? Check in your body. How does your belly feels?
What am I feeling? I feel fine. I feel quite relaxed because I'm speaking with you and I know you. So,
Is your belly relaxed?
Yes, the reason I didn't give a quick answer is because perhaps the next time I feel stress, that's the time to try it out.
You see, but you went in the future now. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what the head does. So when your people will be with you on the dance floor and they're going to say something like this, but what about next time? It's like, no, we're not going next time. We're here now. So right now, how relaxed do you feel? Are your shoulders relaxed? Is your belly okay? Yeah. And are your feet nicely planted on the ground and you feel life is okay actually?
Yes, my feet feel quite cozy and warm.
Lovely. So this is it. This is about bringing the body in a state of relaxation. And the head, it's wonderful what you said, because this is what people are going to do. They're going to go, but what about next time? We're not next time. We're here now. So this is about reconnecting with your own power. And while people's attention move away from thinking and back into the moment, which is, oh, I'm just watching the breath for now. You're not even anticipating the next dance move or the next whatever they're going to be doing with you. It's about bringing it back to the right now. Just keep watching the breath. You know, just keep noticing that your body is breathing. You're being breathed by this amazing force of nature, right? And feeling your feet grounded on the floor. The minute you put your attention on your own breathing and your own feet, mindset hasn't got into fear because you're into feeling and not thinking.
Yes. This is so amazing. I've heard this sort of thing before, but I've now noticed, as you were talking, I now noticed that I'm doing the exact things that my beginner dancers do. You say do one thing, which is step on one foot. They're already thinking, but oh my God, how am I going to last this lesson? What will the next move be? What if I can't remember the next move?
Right.
And all I'm saying is have one foot free. Just step on one foot.
Yeah.
Now step on another foot. But I can see the thought bubbles.
Yeah.
Everyone's the next thing.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, what if I can't connect with the partner? What if I can't dance? What if the next move is going to be more tricky? And I was doing the exact same thing just now without realizing it. Then I was thinking I'm someone who can stay in the moment, and I didn't. You asked me to just breathe, and I'm
But that's
already thinking
okay.
of the next scenario.
We all do it, Joo-Lee. We all do it. So this is why.
Why do we think of the next thing? Why can't we just do the thing right here and then?
Yeah, because we have a monkey mind that jumps from one thing to another. So this is why the breath, observing the breath and then feeling the feet again. So body breath connection. And you know what? If you're willing to practice that while you teach your class, actually people are going to be able to duplicate that in their own body easier, because we live in a world of frequency where we actually all share what we feel unbeknownst to us consciously, right? So when there's somebody in the room and they're nicely relaxed and they're, you know, that, as you said, you're relaxed now because it's me in front of the computer, you don't have a problem with your tech and stuff, but you're still in front of the computer and usually you have all sorts of things coming up. So it's really about, you know, you're with me now, but then your people are going to be with you. So if you practice the BBC rather than just tell them to practice it, you'll be doing both. You'll be, you can share it, by the way. I'd love you to share it. Just, you know.
I will. I'm going to share it with everyone in our community. How often should I practice this, or do I do this all the time, or
Here
do
it
I do
is.
moments of stress?
Here is an added fantastic thing, Joo-Lee. I want you and every listener right now, but don't do it now because you're running the show for me. You're actually interviewing me, so you won't have time to do it right now. But may I suggest that when you're done, take a moment to do it. But for anybody else listening, take a pen and a piece of paper and write down 3 main stresses daily. So you're not looking for world stressing ideas like pollution or the economy or, you know, anything that's huge. You're looking for little annoying little irritants that you have to, you know, deal with every day. So maybe the red lights if you're in your car, or the computer is taking too long to load, or your neighbor parked the car in the wrong place again. I don't know, something simple. Write these down, right? And then what you're going to do when these happen, these are your cue to practice your BBC.
Yes. So I can see that with our more experienced dancers, perhaps sometimes when we're trying to execute a move, we depend on our partners. And because we dance with different partners, there's an added challenge of adapting to different partners. So sometimes we might be stressed because someone didn't lead us the way we wanted to be led. Or maybe our followers didn't respond or follow us. So it's very easy to start being complicated or start being slightly annoyed or slightly irritated, although we're very polite to each other, but we may feel inside that we're not leading or following very well. So we may be stressed by a slight irritation, or we might be stressed because we worry about being inadequate. We worry about not being a good follower to our leader, or not being a good leader to our followers.
That's fantastic. All of these can be the cue. You can tell I'm not a dancer because I don't have any. One day I will come and learn from you in person, Joo-Lee, but right now I'm not even a dancer, so I don't even know what would come up, but excellent, perfect. Everything you've just named, all the stresses you've just named for your people, this is before going into thought analysis or following the thought, or how is I going to respond, or I'm not good enough, or I didn't lead well enough. All of that before engaging in thinking is the cue to practice the BBC. How do we practice the BBC again? Watch the next breath. You're breathing anyway. I always say to people, if you had to be conscious of breathing, you'd already be dead, and me too, because if you had to remember to breathe. So the breath is happening. You're just putting your focus on it and feeling your feet on the ground. And that will dislodge the engagement of the stress-based thinking, negative anticipation, worry, stress, and fear. Promise, it works 100%.
Instead of letting the mind go full speed, trying to solve problems that are not even there.
That's right.
So what you're recommending is to become focused on our breath. So when you say watch our breath, I guess you mean to become conscious that we're breathing, or being conscious of our breath.
That's it. So right now you can do it while you're talking to me. You can note that your body is actually breathing. It adds a dimension to you that is like, oh yeah, everything is well. It's because we project outside of ourselves all of the time with thoughts and emotion. So this is about coming back to your own power, your own source of everlasting power. This is always in you, but we've been trained to focus on the outside, right? And everything we think is fear-based most of the time. So it's
what my dancers and I absolutely love, what inspires us is when we watch very experienced and talented dancers, either in a real live event or on YouTube. When we watch them dance, they always look very relaxed. They always look joyful. They always look like they're in the moment. They never look as though they are thinking. They don't look like they're thinking at all. Everything looks spontaneous. And that is something we all want to have, but we want it so much that we then try too hard.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're overthinking every moment, when in fact, we see the most joyful and inspiring dance movements in dancers that don't look like they're thinking at all. Because they're improvising in the moment. They are reacting to each other in the moment. So I wonder if they have the secrets to your BBC. I wonder if they practice that.
Absolutely, some form of it. I mean, it'll be called something else, but what it is relying on the absolute trust that that part of them is going to know exactly what to do. So they're going with the flow. They're being inspired, you know.
Yes, going with the flow is so hard, isn't it? It can be hard.
Well, but that's it. If it's just about, you know, noticing the fear and even just taking the next breath and going, I surrender that fear. I just, okay, I see it there. I'm not going to follow it, you know, because we follow every thought, right? So this is about going, oh, I see you thought, or I see you fear, but you know what? I'm not coming with you. So I'm just going to do my breathing, and I'm going to do my feeling my feet on the ground, because this is the empowering part of, you know, being able to tap into that potential. And these people who are performing that you're talking about, they're absolutely trained again and again to be staying absolutely present. Anybody in the Olympics, anybody who does dangerous sports, anybody who does anything high precision is trained to focus on just what they have right in front of them. So your people, when they put one foot forward, there's only that one foot in the world. There's not, what will I think, what will they think of me? That's irrelevant. That's actually self-indulgence. I like to put it that way for people, because sometimes it makes a mark, you know. It's like, this is self-indulgent. You're here to have fun, to do your best, focus on one foot at a time. Don't mind what the other person thinks or how you might be perceived, because you know what? You cannot control how people perceive you.
Why are our thoughts so busy and so complicated when we actually intend to do something fun? So why do we have all these monkey voices in our heads? Where do they come from? You know, does it come about? And why does it come about when we want to do something that is relaxing and joyful?
Yeah, because this is like, you know, there's three parts to the mind. So there's a conscious mind, which is, you know, what you can observe what's going on with, and that runs limitedly. It can compute 14 bits of information per second, a little neuroscience for you now. And then the subconscious mind, Joo-Lee, runs every one of your thoughts, your decisions, your actions and your reactions, your state of health, how much money you make, and what kind of relationship you have. And this is 99% of everything we do. The amount of computing for the subconscious mind in the same second is, are you sitting down?
Yes, I'm sitting down.
20 million bits of information per second. So if somebody is stuck or if somebody is fearful, we all are. Listen, we all are. It's something we've learned way earlier on, maybe in our childhood, or something we keep repeating ourselves, or why am I not good at fill in the blank, right? So we take on board all the time these subconscious ideas. They're fed to us, well, in our childhood, in school, what our parents told us, all of which we cannot remember, replay today, as the fear-based programs. What I mean program is this subconscious ideas that we don't even know where they came from, but they're showing up in the fear that we're experiencing today. And fear shows up in lack of confidence, in, you know, not being able to accept some aspects of ourselves, of others, not liking who we are, feeling we're not good enough, we're not lovable enough. Most people have these, you know, until you actually do something about clearing this kind of mindset. This is the normal, unfortunately, way that most people live their life. It's always worried. It's always fear-based. What if something happens? And I have to say that the world at large, when you look at advertising, when you look at general main mass media, insurance, I apologize if anybody is working for any insurance companies, but they're preying on you being fearful about something so they can sell you how to protect yourself, which by the way doesn't. And that way you'll feel more relaxed, but you don't, because now you're anticipating what could go wrong. So we're constantly programmed to be afraid. My simple explanation for it is that free people are non-controllable. So nobody can control you if you're a free person, and somebody free is somebody dangerous, because that means they're not going to buy the BS anymore that they're being fed on a daily basis. This is why I love what I do, and it can be applied to dance, to absolutely anything, which is free yourself from the incessant fear-based thinking that actually is running you. You think you have mind at your service, but it's not so. You're the slave. We all are the slave of our own mindset. It's exhausting, you know.
To me, social dancing, it's maybe 90% in the mind. You know, assuming we've got arms and legs, we can dance, we have access to so much information. You can learn to dance online, you can learn to dance in classes or private lessons. But I'm interested in I believe 90% is in the mind. You know, our mind can stop our progress, so we can go to more and more classes, we can watch more and more, you know, YouTube clips. But if there is a block, that's the bit I'm interested in. I want to help to remove that block. And I can do that more easily in the private lesson, because we can talk about what's blocking us, you know, the fear. So to anyone who's listening to this recording now, the reason I'm talking to, well, one of the reasons I'm talking to Mayana is because, to me, she's got some amazing, powerful tools to help us to be conscious of what our thoughts are doing to us, and to get rid of things to get rid of useless thoughts that actually hold us back in life in general. But in this interview, we're talking about social dancing. So Mayana, our social dancing involves the following. We dance to music that we may not necessarily have heard of. We dance with partners we may not have necessarily met or danced with before, because we want to enjoy that social spontaneity. So in the joyful potential, there lies the fear of the unknown. So we have to react and respond to the unknown all the time, especially dancing as a follower. So I advise my followers to be in the moment, because you never know which direction your leader will take you to, or which move he may suggest or she may suggest or invite you to take up. So this unknown, this unknown factor can drive us crazy.
Sure.
Because, you know, a lot of dancers would like to dance in repeated patterns, so that's fine. But what our social dancers like to do is to break away from patterns, because patterns can keep us safe. Because I know exactly what you're going to do, and you know exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, sure.
But safety, after a while, is limiting. This is not so exciting.
Absolutely.
You know, the swing dance world has kind of innovated so much over the last 10 years because of spontaneity. I don't know what you're going to do. You don't know exactly how I'm going to respond. And together, we can create something even more amazing. So I want to encourage everyone to just break away from patterns, the safety or the perceived safety of patterns, and to be in the moment and to respond to the unknown. Because it's just dancing. I'm not asking someone to go and do what I call brain surgery and just expect the unknown. You're not going to spontaneously do something that involves a life or death situation. So I'm interested in your take on the human response to the unknown. You know, how do we normally respond to the unknown, and how can we get rid of any negative feelings about the unknown?
So thank you, Joo-Lee. The unknown is what brings up all the fears in somebody. But honestly, this is where everything lights up, whoosh, massive amount of fear. And you asked right there something to change the feeling. Let me tell you something. You cannot control how you feel. You cannot control how anybody else is feel. Did you ever have somebody telling you to calm down when you were annoyed? And how did that work for you?
Oh, goodness me. Yes, I remember going to a yoga class, but the room was a bit dirty, and I asked the receptionist, I said, please can I borrow a brush so I can clean the floor? And he goes, it's clean. And I go, it's not. And then this person said, well, you need to calm down. Go into your yoga class now and calm down. I was not calm.
No, that's right. Because, I mean, we've all had it, you know, women get it at work, control your emotions, guys get it, anyway, we all get that somewhere. You cannot control your own emotions, and you definitely cannot control anybody else's emotion. It makes you feel exactly the opposite. If you're annoyed, somebody says, calm down, you pretty much want to rip their heads off their shoulders, right?
Yes.
Right? You know, you can't give orders. What you can do.
I can't say, don't be stressed. Stop being stressed.
No, that means, what does that mean? That's like, don't be human. It's like, wow, how do I do that? But the thing you can do is offer a thought, because here it is. This is a very simple method I work with. You know, it's really very simple. Thoughts, emotions, physical results. So while you cannot change an emotion, you can certainly think something different. So your dancers, while they're there and you're saying to them, okay, you know, we're not going to do brain surgery, we're just going to dance, right? But in order for you to, you know, be able to even respond, for them to be able to tune down the fear literally, you know, is that you just offer that whatever they're thinking is only a thought, and they don't have to follow it. Because this is what's going to set a chain reaction of an emotion right behind it. So
that's right. Thoughts can pop into our head.
Yeah,
but we don't follow it.
That's why you're coming back to the BBC. So when that thought is coming up, you're going to go, you know, it's only a thought, but just reconnect with your breathing. Reconnect with your BBC. If you share with them what the BBC is, you'll only have to say BBC without the whole body-breath connection, right? Know that it's only a thought. And an emotion is going to follow the thought. So best to just focus on you. That sounds selfish, but it's not at all. It's like, you know what? It's like on the plane. What does the captain say on the plane? In case of emergency.
Oh yes, oxygen. Yes, for your mask, for your own mask first.
To your own. That's right. Even if you have a child with you, you have to put oxygen to your own mask, especially when you're in partnership dancing, right? So if they'll relax and, you know, tune into their own breathing, feel their feet on the ground, then the other little shift is they're here to offer the help to their partner, right? So rather than, you know, interfering or even thinking about leading, even if they are the leader, the thing is they're there for the other, you know, so they have to be their utmost, best, calm, most resourceful, less fearful type. This is how they're best going to be able to be helpful. And the thing is, you know, you're going to have some thoughts coming up, fear-based thoughts. We all have them. But the thing is, no, it's only a thought. Choose to reconnect with your BBC. And the third, you know, little help, as it were, or little tip is to think of it as you're here to help your partner. You know,
I like that very much. We can become so concerned about ourselves.
Yeah.
How well am I doing? How well am I doing? Are you enjoying your dance with me?
Yeah.
Am I making mistakes? Am I annoying you? You know, how am I looking? We need that reminder. Look after your partner. Look after the other person. For how long? 3.5 minutes, for however long the song lasts.
Yeah.
Look after your partner. That's such a good reminder.
Totally. And it's like, so it's like being, so it's that thing of, it's not that thing of I take care of you and you take care of me. No, 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 that's not so good. It's like I take care of me so I can take care of you. So it's a different approach, right? And you know what? If you take that into your relationship, wow.
I love this. I'm going to bring our chat to a close in a moment, but that's going to be what I'm going to repeat to myself. I'm going to take care of me so I can take care of you.
Absolutely.
You must always remember that. We tell our dancers that make sure your own technique is strong. Practice by yourself.
Yeah.
Make sure that your rhythm is clear, because you don't have to lead someone by pulling them or pushing them. Make sure that your rhythm is clear and your partner will connect with your rhythm. So take care of your technique. Don't worry about what your partner's technique is. Take care of your own so that you can be helpful to your partner. There's so many parallels, Mayana.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like being responsible. Their responsibility is to take care of them.
Themselves. Yeah, take care of themselves.
Yeah, they can offer better, right? It makes sense.
So don't worry about other people. Don't worry about what your partner's thinking. Take care of your own dancing. Make sure you do. Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think everyone who's listening to this talk will be very interested in your work and what you're doing. So I would love to share, or for you to share with everybody, if they want to find out more about what we've talked about and find out more about you, how can they do that?
Well, I do lots of things actually, Joo-Lee. I'm an author. I have books. I have free materials, some little ebooks on how to go from anger to resourcefulness in a few minutes only. I do coaching. I do in-person retreats, and I do online classes. So really, the best thing to do is just book yourself a free call if you want to discuss anything. If anybody has any fears, any major blocks, whether it's business, health, or relationship, they want to move along. I do all sorts of things. So it's best to go to the website drdugast.com. And you can book your...
Once we finish the recording, we'll put your details in the YouTube description. So we've got the website.
Yeah. And don't be shy. Just click on the button that says book yourself a free call. It's not a trap. There's nothing expected. I genuinely want to get to know you, what holds you up, and how we can blow that out of the water so you have a freer, more fun life. But thank you, Joo-Lee, for the opportunity. But just for your dancers, it's like, I just want to say one last thing. It's like, it's like being children again. When we were children, we just had fun. We didn't worry so much about, hey, am I going to make a fool of myself? Hell yeah. We probably make a fool of ourselves anyway. You know what? I want to offer up one last thing. We live in a generation of selfies, right? People take selfies and all that stuff all the time. You know what? Let me tell you a trade secret. People don't really care about you. They care about themselves. At the end of the day, don't be afraid somebody's going to judge you, because people judge themselves the hardest. And they're so focused on worry, they don't even care. They won't remember what step was slightly askew or something like that. So please relax. Be like children again. Enjoy your BBC. Connect with who you are. This is how you're best serving the dancing, your next move. And when you get home with your spouse, your beloved, the more present you are, the more amazing your life is going to become. So I hope that's been of some use to you and your dancer, Joo-Lee.
Definitely. Everything you say there rings so true for me, and I'm sure everyone would have enjoyed today. So thank you so much for your time. And to everyone who's listening, Mayana is a good friend of mine. She's helped me enormously with different aspects of my work, because I'm doing new things online and I have a lot of fears and a lot of terrors, and she's really helped me just by talking to me, just like this. So I fully trust in her work, and I really believe in it. So I hope you've all found it useful. And thank you, Mayana, for your time.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Take care.